Good day and welcome to the Winter 2023 campaign. 25 new, brilliant, or maybe not, new maps from the Nadeo campaign. Ubisoft Nadeo. I'm mixing up my words, so we're going to get straight into it. Are you ready, Paul Mole?
Yes, I'm ready.
Let's go. I'm in. Once it loads.
Oh,
welcome in, guys.
countdown?
Yeah, I'm just surprising you today. So, 25 new maps by Nadeo. It's going to be a good one. Starting with some new blocks, it seems, as well, which you can see on the sides. A bit of a speedy map here, maybe some speed slides to be activated when you get into the advanced tactics. But, yeah, I'm going to try and get all the offer times, which you don't see me get there on this one. But, I hope you're all doing well. Happy New Year's if you're watching from this release, and I hope you're all a great day. But let's get into the gameplay. This one, I think you can probably just drive pretty smoothly and get an offer time. Just watch out for the airtime. That's about it, I think. Search up speed slides on YouTube for some tutorials if you want to get into the advanced tricks, but I'm not great at explaining it, so I'll just see the simplistic side for now. Alright, we have a interesting map here with a lot of fog, which I hope is not going to be excessive. Oh, and then we have just left-hander there, pretty easy peasy. I think that'll be enough. You can see one or two things I did in that run. At the start, I just looked for where the turns are, and then in that middle jump, I used the right side there to get a bit of a lower jump. I'm not sure if it's faster, but that's what I thought of how to do it anyway, and it got me it on my first try. But we're now with some little bit of ice onto some ice drifts now. Interesting. Haven't seen that in a Nadeo campaign. And then one final downhill. Short and sweet. Is that enough? Should be pretty close. Not quite. We go again. But very, very simple maps to start with so far. You can see the other kind of new scenery. These square blocks and icicles. And you can make your own creations out of them. It's pretty cool. I personally have not got into it yet myself, but there as a new addition of blocks if you can get used to it. Alright, let's take this one a lot more smooth this time. You don't want to overdrift and then little at all turning on that last downhill. Onwards to another one. See, it's probably some sausage, okay? A lot of people don't like sausage because it's a bit tough, but I'm just gonna look ahead and then attack which kind of drift it's going to be. But this one isn't too difficult. And we have a bit of a zoop to end us off. I presume that wasn't going to be enough fourth time, so let's try again. So this one is downwards to the right, so you want to be on that side. I was there. This one, you can initiate a drift. Oh, it's quite a big bit of airtime you get, so gotta watch out for that. So inside, stay on inside. Ideally you get a drift here, but I can't seem to get the right speed. So maybe it is just a full send. Stay in the middle, and then using the middle sausage, you'll get a little bit of airtime yourself out of that. Small release here, aim for the left side, and then zoop, which I did get quite significant there. Onwards to the final map of the White series. Hello? Why did that take so long? Okay, we have some plastic bouncing. Very epic. Is this going to be a full plastic map, I guess? So smooth steering, small taps, or if you can, smooth steer yourself. That's it, okay. Bit of a boring map, in my opinion. Is that enough? Probably not. No, it is, so pretty easy on that one. And you can see you get trophies for getting certain medals on each one for that row of medals. So now moving to the green series. How you doing, Paul? What's your thoughts on the first 5 maps?
Yeah, they were pretty simple, pretty good.
I feel like those
I'm also
were
on 6.
pretty much some of the easiest maps we've seen. I feel
Yeah,
like they were
they were pretty
very
easy.
simple this season. Onwards to the green now. What is it gonna have? So we have some boost, some small jumps, maybe low air time there, but you do jump quite far, so maybe not. I picked up the water there, so you don't want to break. I'm not sure if you can jump over that in general with a little bit of a faster time. And then downhill, ideally minimal airtime again, but let's see. I do get it this time, so no braking, smooth turn, and then that's going to be it, I guess. These are very laid back in terms of complexity. So I don't know when they're planning to release the game on console, but it kind of looks like it's aiming back towards that simplicity. Of course, I have too many hours to count on this game, but I like to try and keep an open opinion, and they seem fairly simple so far. So I haven't really needed to say much for you guys yet on how to play these. That one definitely was not the approach. So there was a sand trap on the right there, which I was trying to avoid, but I wasn't sure what angle to follow through with. This one here, you want to try and stick in the red lines, which you can see me absolutely not doing. Now let's go a very quick release tap, avoid the sand trap, landing to the left, and then attacking in. So that one you probably want to land a little bit more middle, I think. And I was going to say, I probably presume that is a author time, but that can be done a lot better. And from Pormal's exaggeration, I was going to say, is this going to be a multi-lap? And it is indeed.
3 laps.
Okay. Oh, I thought that was going to be water, so that's one of the new blocks. Glass. Very, maybe Mario Kart-esque map for this style.
Last corner's a bit interesting.
Yeah. Start your drift early, release if you need. This one probably full send. You can actually slide a little bit over the glass. Watch out for the penalty grass. Again, drift early. I'm going to release there a little bit. So maybe utilize the glass to start a bit of your turn. Go close to the top. Not that close, obviously. Of course, they do it in the last turn. Classic Simply Nick there. And then take it fairly smooth. So I think that definitely would have been enough, but in Nick fashion, I failed the last corner. So hard steer, stay kind of maybe 1 dot above the top there to make sure you don't hit like I did. Watch out for that clip as well. This one's going to be very, very tough to get a good time on. I think the author time shouldn't be too difficult if you can get this drift right here and avoid the roof on that last one. But I think this will be a very hunted map by the end of the season. hit a little bit of penny grass, which is not ideal, but whatever for now. Small release if you need. This time I knew I had the wrong entry, so I just start drift early and you can see how much you lose. So you want to be attacking early on this side, bonk, and then smoothly through. So that should be enough. Ooh, bit of a harder one, obviously. So time to go ham. As I am falling behind already.
I also took 2 attempts.
Yeah, I'm
I
up to like
a,
6. So
it's
thanks
like a
for
clean
flexing.
run, and it was gold. And I was like, oh, okay.
They're just trolling us with, you need a perfect run for this one for some reason. So if you have club access, you can watch the replays, which I think will definitely come in handy on this kind of one. You can even verse them on standard and club access, as far as I know. Oh, look how close I got. No, too close. God damn it. I'm just extending the video for AdSense. I would like to go to next map. It's going to be one of those days, obviously. Super wide, inside, up to the white dots, smooth, avoid grass, small release if you need, left, right, hard left, hard right. That's a lot faster. And then once more, hard left, hard right. Hard left and hard right. Easy peasy right. So it was that second lap, which was very bad. So yeah, just gotta go maybe a little bit wider before that last checkpoint. So you can get that right angle to carry your speed through. A bit of a plastic start, transition over the sausage. Want to go for as low as jump as possible. This one you probably don't want any air time. Air brake to land smoother. Just tap the brake if you don't know how to do that. Over the stadium, I didn't quite make it, so let's do some wicked flips instead. I was going to say, I presume that's probably the end of the map. Yikes. Okay, so there's a bit of a gear here. If you listen. Or you can see the thing I'm using up in the top right is something called the dashboard, which is through OpenPlanet. You can kind of use that to showcase your controls. Yeet. Alright, cool little map. I'm finding this very, very simplistic, which I like simplistic, but it's usually a little bit more complex. A lot of this just seems like, let's do a full oval, and that's about it. So far. I was about to say, is this going to be again an oval, but not quite. So there's a bit of grass on the ground there, which you can use the speed slides, and again, but I am really not that good at speed slides, so definitely watch some better tutorials than me. It's not necessarily needed for getting off of times, though. Smooth driving on these kind of speedy maps definitely probably prevails 100% of the time. But to get the top records, you will need to speed slide. Right, onwards, new signs there, new blocks again, and to the blues we go. Okay, some tilted blocks. For this, I was talking to chat about if they think there was going to be tilted blocks in the new campaign again, and here we go already. Quite early on, actually. Usually they're mostly for the Black Series maps. Smooth there, ideally. And smoothly around. Kind of hope that isn't off timing, because I didn't really pay attention. Kind of just flew through by very quickly. So you can go a bit of a left-right trick there, but that's going for the very advanced tricks. Smooth as possible. Ideally avoid the air times on these smooth, or these, what do you call them? Tilted transitions, I guess. You can also utilize the tilted transitions to start a drift if you need, so not sure what would be faster. Left, right. Didn't quite get it that time. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of these tilted blocks because I really feel like they are cam 2 needed to get a good angle on them. Is that not enough again? Alright, alright. This one may be a little bit tougher. Hold down the acceleration button hard, obviously. That's all it is. Let's see, going on the sides there, watch out for the air times. Oh, that's a good start. Nose down. No air time here, start the drift early. Go on the lower side of that. No air time. And you can probably do that a little bit better, but that's a quick time. So that, unless I was I must have been quite close there, because that was a fast run to end off with, but I didn't think my other time was too bad. Alright, now some beautiful reactor ice. Love it. Alright, let's just go through the map and see. But seems like a short map, which I'm not going to get that boost. Very nice. Glad I kept going to discover the map. So this one. This one? Let me think about it. Right hard and then left. But you want to be... I'm being thrown to the left and right from the reactor and the ice tires. You want to be exiting as straight as possible. Because then you minimize your drift, which drifting wastes time with these kind of exits. Yep, that's what I meant to do. What am I looking at right now? Okay, so I said this campaign's been very simplistic, and then they throw just a bunch of special blocks in this map. So you can see I drifted out there and see how much slower it is. So let's go wide and then hard steer to the right. Not quite. Air brake. Air brake again there. It's two inside once again. Wicked, but not very fast. Alright. I am struggling on this one. So air brake, go wide. I'm gonna release a little bit there to make sure I have the right angle. probably want to pick up as much boost as possible along that. And then smooth down in to the end. Interesting map. I don't mind that. But it's going to take a little bit more practice than all the other ones. Maybe I've been thrown off by the simplicity, and then that one's just that little bit more complex again. Alright, another reactor star. They're getting creative with these. So sticking in the red lines if you can. Over to the other red line. I presume you probably don't want to be drifting that, but for most players, I'd probably suggest try and drift all of it. Stay in the red line again, and then this is just a repeat. Okay. You see how I exited a bit too much there off the... Oh, no, you're definitely going to have to drift there. I was going to try the no drift, but didn't quite get it. It's a lot more smooth this time. Lock yourself into the second one. There's two inside. It's because you don't have a great exit position here. Like, you're being thrown all the way over to there. So I'm trying it with a full send strat. I presume you probably can do it without full sending. But there is the checkpoint there. One thing I do recommend is try and practice with those checkpoints as much as you can. This one's actually in a really prime position to practice this part, which is quite rare. So that's really good. No air time. And this, you want to just lock yourself into these. Didn't even have to press any steering on that one. I'm yet to work out how to play these bobsleighs faster. They got rid of Action King keys being faster, but I think it's still faster after their fix in the classic Nadeo style. But you can see that I can just lock myself there, so that's how I'm gonna play this map and get a decent time. Onwards. I would have said this is the fastest discovery, but I did shit on the multi-lap one. So probably not. Great respawn there. I didn't know how much to go left. Is this one maybe gonna have some wall rides to watch out? Okay. Fascinating. Can't see anything. Not the great block to use there, in my opinion. Alright, down we go. Air brakes, definitely for these ones. Then up and around. And one final part, which is further over. Good focus. It's a full send start. Go as close to the penalty grass as possible without going over it there. Oh, goodness. Start turning there on that one. Otherwise you'll hit the one wide road we have. I don't like these kind of maps. Yeah, not a fan of this one. Break. And break. Up we go. Down early. Watch out for the triangles there, and then far to the side. Interesting map. I don't think it's that bad, but definitely not a map for me. Right. Onwards to our next. Okay, seems like you can jump over that right side there. Ah, damn. Thought I was going to be able to get that, but there's a small bump. Ooh, interesting. So this one you will actually want to utilize that. But this is going to be quite tough. For most, I'd probably say just jump from the middle. As you are turning, it's always more difficult. So I'm going to hold the drift a little bit longer and do it in one momentum. This one I think you can nose down. So if you nose down, you're getting onto the road quicker, and you want grip to turn to the right there. Oh, that was really good. No air time on that one. I am actually going to air brake this time. Just because I had a good angle to air brake. So that's the thing. If you aren't air braking, yeah, that's the nose down I was talking about. Is that world wreck? Oh, super close. That was a good run. And that's the last one of this series. Interesting map, that one. You had a few transitions to watch out for. But yeah, that one I wasn't sure to nose down or air brake. I think it is an air brake to make sure to control it as quick as possible. Because if you are nose diving, it can be a little bit tough to control. I mean, that's some things for you to play with. Onwards with another map now, which has a lot of water and a lot of dirt. And as I found already, you can fall into the water, which is not ideal. I must say, I don't really like this scenery with the pyramids. I think it looks very incomplete. I like those arrows there, though. You see those arrows up the top? Okay, snow and reactor makes you very drifty at the end. Not even a gold. I just wanted to quickly check if like you can... Doesn't look like it. No skipping the freewheeling from what I can see. So this time I'm going to take it very close to that. So those blocks are very smooth on the sides, and then they tilt down quite quickly towards the middle. Oh, okay. Too close. So smooth all the way. and outside to in. Start outside again, probably small release. And a bit tighter. How you doing, Paul? You're quiet today. You falling asleep?
I'm doing great. I'm like 2 maps behind you.
What's your thoughts so far? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, I also don't know how to do bobsled since they changed it. So like,
Yeah, it just a lot of people have said they kind of feel a bit bland, and I definitely do agree. Like, for half my runs, I just pressed acceleration. I didn't even have to turn once you're locked into the red line. And like, I feel like that's wrong, but again, it works, so I'm gonna go for it. Like, I don't know, it's a bit weird.
yeah, I'm on number 14 at the moment.
I think I may have got Orpha on this one. I did. So that one, just go smooth as butter around all the corners. Okay, NASCAR map it seems. First NASCAR map of Nadeo campaign. Kip's gonna be excited, and my Twitch chat's gonna be excited. They love NASCAR.
I'm excited.
If it's out of trolling me or they do actually love it, I can never understand, but here we are. We have a weird NASCAR map because every single corner has the wrong tilted block right before it. Okay. Not your typical NASCAR, but that's usually what you get with Nadeo mapping. Typically you want to go on the outside, drift as smooth as possible. One small brake tap there. This one's on the wrong side. This one, no drift. No airtime either. This one's on the inside here, so I'm going to go release early and then go with the flow. This one's very sharp. And that's a lap. I was going to say, you're going to have a lot of speed going into this. I do not like that.
Oh.
I'm going to go for that, but it does not feel right. Give it to Nadeo to ruin NASCAR somehow. Yeah, everything feels wrong with this map. To your usual, typical NASCAR. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad map, but it's what you would... how do you call it?
Dissing NASCAR?
No, I'm dissing putting the wrong drifts in... I don't know how to explain it. But like, where you should be for the next corner, you need to always be on the wrong side, it seems, in this map. Which just makes it really uncomfortable to play.
I'll let you know how perfect it is when I get there.
Perfect. Yeah, that drift, I don't know. You have way too much speed. That boost is super easy to pick up, so you're definitely going to use the boost there. But anyway, let's go for a subpar run, which will be enough for Orpha Metal. I think I've kind of explained most of these turns, and you can improve it from there. Yeah, weird one. I don't know. But, yeah, just, it was unnatural on where you want to be for those turns to where you actually end up being, needing to be for the next turn on that. Good focus. Alright, onwards to our next map. Let's just respawn and check out the rest of the map as we're getting to a little bit more complexity now. Where am I going? Okay, that worked. Through the trees. Excuse me. You see the fog, which I'm not a fan of because you can't see anything, and the new scenery blocks. And to the finish line. Okay. Not the biggest fan of grass full speed maps in this game, I'll tell you that. But undecided yet so far on this map. Ideally you get no airtime on that, but it's quite far over to the side. So I'm not sure if where you want to be attacking this. I don't like how close that is on that side. Let's go inside a lot earlier. This one also start your inside drift very early. Talked about speed slides earlier. It is definitely a lot faster to get them on grass as well, where you do a lot of smooth drifting. But again, I'm not the greatest at explaining how. But I just try and go for pretty smooth executed drifting. This one you don't want any airtime, which will help you get the airtime for this. And you want to go a lot more on the inside at the end there. I got stuck in the camera. I've noticed this once or twice already today. I don't know if this has been a thing in the update, but I'm getting locked into my camera when I feel like I was in a different camera. But anyway, it's probably just a me issue. Okay, very boring start. This is going to be the whole map. Boring. Next, please. That's a minus map in my opinion. This one go in the middle and then jump over, it seems. I also think I just got a slowdown. Very nice. Alright, not much to say on this one, other than I'm not a fan. that there, you want to listen to your gear and make sure you up a gear before you get into this. And if it helps you, try not to turn before it upper gears. So if you are turning when you gear change, often it stalls the gear and that's very slow. So same as that one you just heard, I didn't want to be turning. This time I want to be closer to the left and then aim for the middle. And then speaking of middle, through to there. I hope that's enough because I am not a fan of that map. But it's going to keep me on it. So I think it might be in this second corner. Okay, outside and then get a bit more speed there. Yeah, okay. Oh, there you go. You can see a couple different approaches for this map. What works or what doesn't. I'm falling asleep playing this map and I'm not getting where I need to be. So I think I actually kept the gear that time, which is always ideal. So I go a lot lower. Fucking hell. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. Enter from the right side and then jump to the middle so you can start your drift that way. Which is not going to be the fastest, but it's going to be the easiest. So stay in gear 3. Minimize your airtime. Same on that one. So you can see me starting to utilize that drift there by getting a little bit of airtime through the middle. That means I'll also be in the upper gear already for this one, which I think I was changing gear there. And same thing here, where you get a bit of airtime and get stuck on the map again because you didn't jump in the middle. So yeah, avoid the airtime there, definitely. Same on this one. But I'm wanting airtime on these, for example, to get a bit of a tighter drift. The airtime on these ones give me a drift. And then jump to the middle. And say goodbye to that map. Onwards. What's this? I am jumping it. A bit of ice. Land straight so you don't drift out. Oh my god. One thing I really do dislike in this game is you can't distinguish between asphalt and ice. Oh boy. Give it to a day or two, make the ice players angry with this kind of map. Interesting. Right, no airtime. Jump straight. Air brake. Don't turn or jump into a drift. So I am actually going to drift because we have the ice. sliding out there because it's changing gear, so you want to be... Oh my god, that's an overjump. Interesting. So brake tapping, releasing there if you need to adjust your angles. You have the jump, go outside early, then we're too inside there. That's probably enough for a terrible attempt. Hopefully you can see a few different play styles of that map from my driving there. That was the last red map. It's gone by pretty quickly considering we've been stuck on 1 or 2 maps. But we go into what is supposedly the difficult maps. Well, that's a nice outside corner. Is that ice? It is. Can you see what I mean by you can't tell a single bit of difference? I thought I was going to be drifting that entire round. Come on. How you doing, Pommel? What's your thoughts?
I'm stuck on the first red map.
Haha. Yeah, you know how we'll...
Keep hitting a pole at the very end.
Oh,
That stupid reactor ice snow.
Yeah, I like how we, or at least I was saying the simplicity, and then, yeah, they definitely ramped up in red. That's for sure.
Just want to get to the NASCAR map.
See, Pommel is a massive fan of NASCAR. He loves left turns. Okay, this one is ice to the end. Alright. Other than that one just random hard left turn, seems pretty good map. This one's quite sharp. Ideally you straighten up for that. No airtime here, use the grass to drift into this one. Start this one early. Go up. And then this one, start it very early. I'm gonna go outside. Watch out for the gear change on that. Yeah, didn't get that well at all. And then a final one. No, we still got this. I don't know what you want to... I guess you gotta drift that, because it's too close. And with those 2 mistakes at the end, probably isn't enough. Okay. Yeah, and it's going to be cutted somehow, because of the reactor. I was meant to mention this, but I just moved on with things. There's quite a few reactors and boosts in this map. Not this map, in this campaign. And I am wondering if there's going to be some cuts with this. Because I saw one, you had a lot of speed earlier. I can't remember which map it is, but straight approach and you can see how much I catch up. And there was a boost for the respawn. And it kind of looked like I could nearly hit it from the normal route, which isn't ideal, because you can just probably cut it by getting more boost. Like if you're accessing more boost, you're going to utilize it. Ugh, janky gear again. So this time, small release. That still didn't feel like it was it, but seems like maybe you just start a drift and then... Wait, was that not enough? That wasn't a good time because you'd see that I was behind the whole time, but... I was thinking that was probably off at time enough. Enough for off time. So now it's time to go ham. Because that went well earlier when I'd said that. Double tap drift there if you need. Honestly, same with that one. Oh, dude, I don't know what to do with this gear on that corner. And that's a very bad approach again. I don't know what's up with that last corner. Huh? Okay then, mate. Good luck, beginners. Yeah, good luck with your overtime here. I hope you know advanced drifting. Like, I'm not getting good times, for me personally. I would argue that they're not that bad of a time. As you can see how much further ahead the records are already, but... I don't expect beginners to attack that outside dirt turn like I am, which saves a lot of time. Guess I'm just having a bad day. Just want to see if I can get the upper gear here. So I got the upper gear there. I don't like that one part of the map there. That gear seems a bit irritating to get. Well, I thought this may be a 1 hour 10-ish video, but obviously not. Yes, Kevin. I mean, that first drift there is very satisfying, not gonna lie. Fucking hell, man. I guess I'm just having a terrible day at the driving ring. I mean, it would be funny if I'm like only a couple hundredths off. I don't know, this feels not the worst time I've ever seen.
This NASCAR map is actually a masterpiece.
I can never tell if you're being serious or not. There we go, that's way better.
I don't think I've ever wrecked this much on a NASCAR map before.
Alright, so I lost a lot at the end, to be fair. But... Still don't think that was, that bad of a time I had. Kevin, what are you doing? Thank you. No, don't ban fucking Kato. Kevin, wake up.
Unfortunate.
Alright, so there's gonna be an ice map. Let's readjust my headspace. I'm a bit flustered after that last one. And some stupid spam bots coming in. Oh, that is not the right way. Okay. Interesting downhill there. Oh, wait. There's just nothing there. I wasn't sure if we were supposed to go that way. Small jump. Are we going to the left? Where's the signs in this map? This one's just a bit of a broken stadium map. And that's it. Bit weird. Nice gear change right there for me to lose. Nice pole right there for me to crash into. I also noticed a few times that I have no in-game music. So hopefully my voice has been enough of an entertainment this time around. Okay, gonna go very hollow and then jump down. Okay, that wasn't too bad, but with a little bit more left turn. You could hear my gear wanting to change there, and you do want to, again, make sure you're not turning when the gear changes. Same as like there, you could hear it starting to go up. And there again. So if it is enough to go up, you want to be trying not to steer. Okay, not too bad of a time, but it is enough on that one. So that one, probably the ice slide in the middle, you can definitely do it slightly better. Not sure where else. I guess the plastic jump, you want to go as low as possible. That will save you a bit of time. But, let's go with this one. Seems like a full dirt map. Ugh, I don't like when those blocks are used. Pretty decent scenery though, with all these new blocks. Guess those are kind of like those stalagmites or whatever tights it is. And that's some nice boost over to a blind jump. Very nice. Okay. Okay, it's not too bad, I don't think. I mean, I just find it funny that you're talking like 3 seconds before and then you just disappear and don't get onto it. And then you go about worrying about it, about banning them, and then you ban Kato bikes. You're like, oh shit, I have to do this, and then just ban the wrong people. Oh well.
It's hard business.
It happens to the best of us. Anyway, back to this. I am on Struggle Street. Can't seem to find the attack on these corners. Gonna go for a bit of airtime there to get a bit of a better angle. Paid off okay, I guess. That was really bad, but we'll just roll with it. Some more release. I can go even more inside there. A bit lower on the airtime on that one. Go super close here. Let's just one. Do that. Yep, definitely. Definitely. If you're watching till this point, added wicked into the comment section. Okay, I'm getting there. So, Black, of course, definitely upping difficulty a bit. Gonna have to learn it as you go. Kind of practice each section one by one. Get a bit better as you go. I'm gonna go for the airtime there again. I feel like it isn't any airtime, but that's fine for now. Okay, go super tight. No, and then there's this gap. Ah. My brain is not activated today. Yup. No airtime. Take it pretty close to the edge. Down early. Don't hit that. Wide. It's not even that good still. Yeah, that was super slow. Anyway, we'll keep going. Don't fall off there like I just did. Don't clip this edge. Oh, God damn, every one of these corners is so tight. Except that one there. That's penalty grass. Make sure to jump over that. And that's enough there. See, I feel like that wasn't that good of a time compared to the other one I did on that other map. Anyway, 2 more maps to go. And we're back with the tilted blocks, which I'm not a fan of, but... Wait, it's tilted and sausage. Now this is going to cause carnage for people.
Sounds like a masterpiece.
Because I saw more over from the start. So this especially is what I was talking about with just, you're going to be looking ahead. You're going to be being like, oh, that's a right turn, so I want to be attacking in certain positions. So this one, attack from the mid, and then be on the inside that whole time. This again on an inside. Oh my god. Have a good bed, Schmitty. Guess this is all the way over. It is. I thought that was a reset, but that's some more reactor. Goodness gracious. What is this map? Not sure if I dig this. There used to be some like really sick sausage tech maps to kind of grind. And there hasn't been for like 2 years in the Nardea campaign. And I've been waiting out as well as like a lot of people. I mean, last season we had an okay one, but still it wasn't kind of that good in my opinion. Okay, this time I'm going to go over to that side because then you can get grip earlier. That's why I'm over to there. That was rubbish speed, but anyway, let's continue. I mean, it's cool that it's being different, but is the execution going to be fun? I'm not sure. Not sure about some of these maps. It also feels like I'm not having a great day of the driving, so maybe on a better day, a bit more fun. So, you never told us if you were serious or not about that NASCAR map, Pummel. Tell us, what's your thoughts?
I said I've never braked this much
yeah,
in
I
my
heard
life
that.
on a NASCAR map.
Maybe you liked that.
Oh, that means it's not a good NASCAR map. There's a booster right before a corner and I have to brake really hard.
That jump there I do not like.
I mean, I'm stuck trying to get author on it. I think it's just kind of like, instead of full speeding one corner and then braking the next, you just need to brake on the one before. Kind of.
Yeah, but that's
when you
oh, what's the word? I don't know what the word is.
intuitive.
Yeah, that word. I wasn't sure if that was the right word.
It's intuitive.
Yeah.
Probably not good, but I don't know. It's interesting.
But I mean,
I don't know.
it doesn't surprise me from that day.
Once I see what the world record does, it'll be like, oh
You
yeah.
know what's going to be
easy.
funny? What's a bet that going backwards is faster?
I mean, given that there's a booster.
Yeah, there's a booster that's going that way. So that's a throwback to all the track of the days, which was fast to go backwards. To be fair, I think most of them had a boost, and it was still faster to go backwards. Yeah, this jump is rubbish. It just loses your entire momentum. There's my 110 recording gone. I'm only going to be stuck on this map for. And we don't know what 25 is. I'm a bit worried about 25. Drift in, drift. Actually, no drift for that second one. So honestly, you probably can just hold the brake. Jesus. Small release there. Try and not be steering when you get the gear change. through to the middle, small release, because I know this one is a bit of a send, and over slow mode. Should be enough, and it is. Didn't really feel like that good of a run again, but there we have our last map, and I see the bobsleigh. Dun dun dun. Is it going to be tough? Let's find out. That's a fantastic approach I just did. AK, not at all. Okay. I thought that would be a downhill. By the angle it exited at, or entered at. Oh goodness me. Alright. Let's just pretend I got that other checkpoint. And a no steer. Eh? What the? What is going on? Someone tell me, I'm gone, mate. Oh, I'm like, why have they gone through the finish line? And then it's because I missed that one checkpoint.
Prestige skins. I get a gold camo for getting 50 headshots.
We'll talk about it at the end, I guess. For the real ones who watch the whole vid. You have a little bit of icy tire still there, so you don't want to hard steer too much. Oh my god, that's like a bug slide without bug sliding. That's kind of alright. I don't know if I just got lucky there, but I'm like, I think you smooth drift, and it was. And that was not bad, actually. That's a pleasant surprise. My speed, on the other hand, now is not a pleasant surprise. Because I thought I was on a good run. Alright. I would laugh if that's enough, but surely not. Okay then, I'm going to laugh at that, because that was a rubbish run. I mean, the start was not too bad, but... Well, that's it. I struggled with a various amount of maps, and then I just flew through all the others. What a weird map pack. That's interesting. I don't know. So there you go. That's the 25 maps. Very, very simplistic for the first 10. Even then, it got a little bit more complex afterwards. There's some very random ones a little bit later on, and then from red it definitely ramps up. And I hope that, I think it was map 22 or 21, looks like it is 21 in the thumbnail. I hope that author time isn't too difficult for players, but it seemed like a little bit tough for me. I'm not that good anymore, so who knows. But one thing I do want to check is something called a prestige skin. So this is new with 2023. Now have skins that you can unlock and play yourselves, depending on how many medals you get. And I guess I have unlocked it officially, even though it says that 0 medals in official tracks. Wait, can I apply it? I can apply it. Let's have a look at it. Go 21 because that was the disaster map. So that is something to work towards now as a bonus instead of just the trophies to grind and gain. So this one seems like it's a bit of a see-through spacious style, I guess. Personally, not the biggest fan, but it's cool that we do get a little bit extra for grinding things. And I hope that in the future it's like you get to fully customize your character and such like that. But yeah, definitely a bit of a bonus for the players to try and grind towards. You can upgrade the gems with Track of the Day medals. So is there Track of the Day? I know one of the main ones, which people are going to have to grind a lot, is Royale. Play live Royale. I know where that menu is. And there's going to be a bunch which you can unlock with this one. I think there's 80 with Royale, 4 per animal. So that's interesting. Kind of cool. So that's a good direction for things to go into. So something else to kind of look out for when you play these campaigns now. Hopefully there's one every single season, but yeah, that is it, I think. What's your thoughts, Mr. Paul Moore?
Yeah, it got a lot harder from Red on.
It definitely stepped up. I don't know if it was just because we were surprised by like how simplistic it was to begin with, but yeah.
Someone else definitely did the author times for the early maps.
Maybe it was Hylas, which is the creator for the first few, and then they got someone else, maybe Toner or someone. Anyway.
So even beginner players can still get authors. And
I think it's pretty good, but I found, considering we're 14 campaigns in, that's just a random number off the top of my head. I think it's something like that. I was quite surprised by how simplistic the first 10 are. So unless the console version is coming out in the next 3 months, this is the 1st of January, it's probably a very good campaign then, but I have a feeling it's probably not going to be in the next 3 months for consoles. So, but overall, I'm a bit split with this campaign. I don't know. I found it, as I said, very simplistic to start off with, so the time's going to be very close on the first few. But you have some weird ones like this one here. It's behind my camera, but that was the one with the multiple special blocks at the end on the flat ground with the reactor. You had some multi-laps. You had the NASCAR map, which is a bit odd. The freewheeling one, I do not like this one. Very boring in my opinion. So yeah, just a bit split. I don't know. Definitely will need some playtime. Tell me what you guys think. Hope you enjoyed. Let's call it there, though. I think it's been long enough. Hope you had a good time following this adventure. Hope you got some tips and tricks. And we'll see you in the next one. Make sure to subscribe and follow and do it all. I don't know. You know how it is. And see ya in the next one. Bye-bye.